August 19th, 2013. Just about a picture-perfect day today. Oh, mid-70s, a little breezy once in a while, sun shining, puffy white clouds, combination of all the best stuff that make good summer weather. Unless you like to swim, might be a little too chilly to swim. Well, here I am at my fire pit in my backyard, so to speak, and this morning I spent some time with Smith & Wesson M&P 22 pistol, working towards my FBI Qualifier that I'm hoping to take. Initially I had thought I would be able to do it in August, but I don't think I'm going to be able to now. Self-employed in July and August were pretty dismal months for income for me. I didn't make a whole lot of money. So that means paying for this qualifier course just to have a piece of paper is probably not going to happen at this point. What I did though today is I fired off 4 stages of I should say 4 rounds of 4 stages each of the FBI Qualifier, and here's the targets. I thought I would show them a little bit. So this is going to be video number 2 in this series, and on this first target I did the first 35-40 rounds of it were CCI mini mags, and then the last 10-12 rounds or so were CCI standard velocity. I wanted to put 100 rounds of mini mag through the M&P 22 first, and then I wanted to keep a good high quality ammunition for the next 100 rounds, so I used the standard velocity excuse me, because I didn't want to dig into the mini mags that I have on hand because of the blasted ammunition shortage. It's still almost in full swing, although stuff is starting to trickle in here and there. Here's the lowest round that I fired, right there where the stick is pointing. The highest round that I fired is all the way up here on the cheek, and it just barely shows up on camera, but there it is. I did have a bunch, off the cue, off the silhouette. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now those were my first 12 rounds, which the first 6 are prone, the next 3 are kneeling barricade, the next 6 are standing, and then the next 3 are kneeling barricade weak hand. And all at 25 yards, which I'm not a distance shooter. Most of my experience and most of my technique involves 10, 12 yards, that kind of a range. So for me to be out at 25 yards is a bit of a distance for me. But I did okay, as far as I'm concerned. All of these on target, except for those 7, are still basically center mass between the throat and the top of the diaphragm, with just a couple, 2 or 3 down here that were below. Excuse me. So I'm not unhappy with most of this. Obviously, I would like to see, a big 8-inch diameter around the cue or a 6-inch diameter around the cue. But for my level of shooting, this is very good. So there's target number 1. Here's target number 2. This one is all CCI standard velocity. I've got a couple that are, almost gave him a belly button there. I've got a couple that are a little bit low. I have one that almost didn't make the silhouette at all. So that one's probably my worst shot of the group, as far as the right side goes, or left side of the target. Then I have 2 up here, and the nice thing about this one is this is my second round, and I only got 1 off the silhouette. So I'm really happy with that. That's a 6-round improvement over the first target. So I'm really happy with this one. If I were to do this well with 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson for the actual qualifier, I would take that. I would be just as happy with that as I could be. Now here's the third one. This one's a little interesting in that I ended up overall grouping, I think, a little bit tighter than I have been, but a little bit on the high side, except for one right there. Nice little chin or tooth shot there. This guy definitely didn't survive that. One that's almost off here, and then I've got the most bizarre thing. I've got one here and one here. If I have to guess, probably one of these are my weak hand for the 4th stage, in close at 5 yards. I'm not a good weak hand shooter, left hand for me. One of the things I'm learning about this is that's something I need to spend a good deal amount of time working on. I'll start with a BB gun. I'll do, 5,000 to 6,000 rounds of BB gun because it's cheap and it's easy to do. Doing weak hand only. Then I'll move to 22 as I find more ammunition and do that way. And then eventually 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson if I have one by that point. Still thinking about getting one. Just a matter of funds, and as bad as the last 2 months have been, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So that's target number 3. Here we are in the 4th and final round. Again, this one, I'm pretty happy with this one overall. I've got another diaphragm shot down here, another shoulder shot up here, and only one off the target. No headshots, which is interesting, by the way, because I did not deliberately aim at the head for any of these. I just was trying center mass as best I could. Open sights, of course, which is kind of neat that I was able to do this at all with open sights at 25 yards for 12 of the rounds. Now with the 22, there's less recoil. That means these should be a little bit tighter in terms of the groups. And oh, by the way, this is a Federal 325 value pack, so this is cheap ammunition at this point. Just decided to try some cheap stuff. I did have one stovepipe, so I had one failure with it out of 50 rounds, and I didn't count that towards my timing of the whole thing because, of course, this is all unofficial. This is just me learning, experimenting, trying to get ready for hopefully the real deal. And if I can do it in September, maybe we'll go for September. If not, maybe in the spring, who knows. But I'll keep working towards it, and when I feel confident in my finances that I can afford it, I'll pay the money, I'll take the qualifier, and hope that I do this well. If I do this well and I have one off, I won't argue with a 98 out of 100. I think that's not too bad at all for me. Well, thank you for watching. There should be a few more videos like this. I'll probably do a couple more 22, and then I'll do some 9mm. And my goal is to have about 5 or 6 videos in this series altogether. And then, of course, the final one, if everything goes okay, I will hope to videotape the actual qualifier that I shoot, and hopefully do well enough to not be ashamed of it. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.